Good morning and welcome to another studio vlog. It has been quite a while since I last picked up the camera. I think it's been over a week since I actually picked the camera up and did any filming, and that is mostly because I have had such a busy half term here in the shop, and I've just been exhausted too. I've been totally run down, and I don't know if you can see, but I will explain. I've got a scar here. I woke up with it. I woke up and my face was just covered in blood and I had this big gouge out of my face, and I think what had happened is one of my pups in the night must have scratched me, and yeah, I just woke up in pain and there was blood and it was not very nice. So yeah, I've got a big scar on my face. So I look a real mess today. My hair is all scruffy. I'm in my comfy clothes because it is Monday the 5th of June, and obviously I don't work on Mondays. I just come into the studio. Well, I say I don't work. I don't open the shop on a Monday to the public. I just come into the studio and kind of have a chilled day catching up on any of the Art and Design by KB jobs. And things I need to get done today are catching up on some of the design work that I've been doing. I want to make sure that I'm completely on track with the designs that need to be sent off to have products manufactured for my Patreon goodie boxes that will be going out in this time. They'll be going on the 13th of June. So I've got my schedule, which I'll pop a little picture of so you can see up on the side here, but I have my little June Patreon schedule up on the wall to keep me on track and remind me of when I need to do things. So the Little Jewels box and the Moonglow mail are due to go out on the 13th of June. Fingers crossed everything from manufacturers arrives in time. I thought I got it all sent off, the bits that need to be sent off in time, so I just really hope that it does all arrive. Otherwise the box will be just a couple of days late, which my lovely patrons, I'm sure they won't mind a couple of days delay. If you're interested in joining my Patreon and getting my Moonglow mail or my Little Jewels goodie box, then I'll pop a link down below in the description so you can read all about my Patreon and find out all the different benefits that you get from becoming a patron of mine. One of them is my podcasts, and you can get the podcasts from joining on the lowest tier, which is just £2 a month. And this morning, whilst I was sort of having a really relaxed, chilled out morning, I actually recorded one of my podcasts at home. And it was quite a long podcast. It ended up being quite a long podcast because I had so much to update my lovely patrons on, including some extremely exciting news, some really great business success news that I've only shared with my patrons, but it's just fantastic. Yeah, I'm just really happy, and it means a lot to me, and a lot of it I owe to you guys who watch my videos, to my Patreons who support me every month, and to all the people that come into my shop and support me by shopping with me on Devon art supplies or Betty's books or Artanddesignbykb, which really only, as I say, started back up again in January, but has just been a real whirlwind and just, yeah, really great fun since restarting it. One of the other things I want to get done today is pack an order that came in from one of my lovely patrons called Mel, of actually, I think, possibly the biggest sticker order that I've ever received. I think it's pretty much every sticker, every sticker that I have ever done to date, bar the ones that Mel has already ordered or had before. So I think, yeah, I think this is a really great sticker order, so thank you so much, Mel, and I will try and get that packed on the video today, on the vlog today. And what else do I need to get done today? I've got some orders that might arrive for the shop, so art supplies and things like that, so if they do arrive I will show you some of the products that are coming in, because there's some new arty products coming out on the market that we'll be stocking, so I'll get those unpacked and priced up and put out on the shop shelves. I need to print and cut some more of the stickers that I designed over the weekends, because I have been doing a little bit of design work just of an evening, sat on my iPad whilst we watch TV with my husband. It's rare that my husband and I actually find a TV series that we both enjoy watching, other than crime type stuff like NCIS and Criminal Minds and things. We love those, but we've watched all of them that exist. But I actually started watching, just as a background cozy relaxing thing, I started rewatching Gilmore Girls, And my husband just came and sat down one day when I was watching one of them, and he really enjoyed it. And so ever since, I've not been able to watch them on my own. My husband has to watch Gilmore Girls now with me because we are on season 2, I think, now. I've actually watched all of them from start to finish, including the extra bit that they did before. But it's just so much fun to rewatch a series like that, because it's just, I don't know, there's just something cozy and relaxing and funny about Gilmore Girls, and I love the whole sentiment around it as well. So yeah, that is what I've been doing of an evening, when the football's not on, of course, because when the football's on, my husband has complete control of the TV, so I sit and watch studio vlogs whilst designing on those evenings. Obviously after my children have gone to bed, I'm not talking about just ignoring my kids completely of an evening and and sitting watching TV. Yeah, so I'm going to start getting on with those things, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you about how my first ever online shop launch went. So let's get on with some jobs, and then we will have a chat about how that Garden Gonk shop launch went on the 31st of May. I just thought I'd show you, whilst I'm busy working on some more of the oopsie bags. These actually sell really, really well in store and online, and they are just little bags that I made up with a cute little oops sticker of any bits and pieces that just don't go to plan. So often the sticker is mainly okay, you just get a little bit here where it's just either off center or it's not come off properly, and I mean that really you just pick off and the sticker's going to be absolutely fine, but to me it's an oops sticker, so it ends up in the oops bundle. And then things like these ones are where they're not quite centered properly, you can see like ever so slightly off, or where it doesn't come off the mat properly. and you just get that extra little bit of paper at the back. So everything goes into this little basket, and I can't stand wasting, so I put together oops bundles. Sometimes when I'm testing different ideas, there'll be things like oops bookmarks that go in there as well, but the oops sticker bundles, I put them together in these little packets. These are the small ones, because I do online have the option of small or large sticker bundles in the oops packets. These are like the die cut stickers, and then I do the planner sticker oops bundles as well, and I'll put them out in the shop and they just disappear straight away. People absolutely love them, so I'm always selling oops bundles in store, and then online every now and then when I get some up and put them together, I put them online as well. I've actually got a couple to pack today from some orders, so that's why I've just got this out, and I thought I would just show you how I avoid waste really. And if you've got a Cricut machine, you will know that there is a lot of, you know, oops stickers and oops products that when you're creating, I mean, so many people have looked at them insides of the bundles and gone, well really, I don't understand what's oops about it. And I think a lot of it is just because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist a lot of the time. So these do look absolutely great. I haven't even found a way of getting these exactly perfect so that I can sell them, but I'm just not happy with the cut line on these, and so they've all ended up in oops at the moment till I can get them perfect. And these, it's just that the white border is not central, that's why they're in there. But yeah, if you want to get yourself a bargain of some oops stickers, they're on my website and on Etsy, so you can get hold of those, or if you're local you can pick up a bag in store. But if you're a small business owner and you want to avoid waste, I highly recommend giving oops bags a go, because people just love being able to get products at a bargain price, and it avoids wasting any of your stock, and you might be able to get a few pennies back to just cover the cost of your ink and your papers and things. You obviously won't make any money by doing the oops bags because you always reduce the cost right to the minimum, but it's a good way of sort of covering costs and avoiding having to chuck away any waste. I mean, just imagine if I had to chuck all that away, what a waste that would be. So my Garden Gonk shop launch was on the 31st of May, and it was the first sort of online shop launch that I've done before where I've put a big collection of products on all at once. Normally what I do when I do a shop launch is just little 2 or 3 items every now and then onto the website and Etsy, and then I just sort of promote them on Instagram and Facebook and things like that. And that's really how I've been doing it since I restarted in January for Art and Design by KB. And it's also how I did it before. I never really did these sort of big launches. And I think the main reason I did it that way is because I never really expected to get that many orders all at once. I watch all of these great studio vlogs by people like Coco Natasha or Catnip or Emily Harvey or Rebel Jones or Prince by Millie. I could name so many more. And I watch these like shop launch videos and they always have like loads of orders coming in. They're really successful. And you always dream as a creative small business owner to sort of reach that level. But I just don't know if ever I'll get to that stage, in all honesty, because my online following just is nowhere near that amount. And I thought to myself, there's no point in me doing these big shop launches because I'm going to get like 1 or 2 orders, be really disappointed, and then just give up again like I've done before. But I thought to myself, you are never going to know if you don't give it a try. And things have changed since I, did this all before, and definitely since January when I started. I have more followers on Instagram and more followers here on YouTube. Thank you if you're one of my new subscribers. And I feel like I've got more sort of real true supporters, people who really believe in what I'm doing and want to support me and like what I create. So I thought it's worth giving it a try. And that's where the Garden Gonk collection came about, because I actually designed like a collection of gonks based on, I think I've told you before, based on what I look out my window and see, which is one of my little gonk characters that go in the garden. And it was surrounded by all the flowers that had grown from the bulbs. And that just inspired this illustration that then inspired stickers and magnetic bookmarks and all these other products, which I shared with you here on YouTube, and I shared on social media and with my patrons. And yeah, so I launched it as best I could. And on the 31st of May at 5 p.m, when the website went live with all the new products, I had some orders. And not just 1 or 2. I actually had in the first day 8 orders and a total of 60 items on those 8 orders. And that blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. For me, those 8 orders, it was just fantastic. And I was so grateful. So if one of you were, if you're watching one of those orders, thank you so much. But the next couple of days, I had another 3 orders and then another 2 orders after that as well. And I can't remember if it was in like 1, 2 or 3 days time, but I definitely had like 5 more orders, I think related to the Garden Gonks, because they all had items from the Garden Gonk collection in them. So I have sort of put down that it was in total like 13 orders related to that shop launch. And for someone of my size, in terms of the reach that I have on social media, I think that that is pretty darn good. And I'm really grateful and happy. And I think what I've learned is that for a shop launch, I will do this sort of thing again, but certainly not every month. I found it really difficult to have the designs there waiting and not just launch them. I really wanted to, at some points, just click that launch button and go. But because the promo was all about like the pending launch and look what's happening in so-and-so days, look what and there's a countdown on Instagram and that sort of thing, I really did hold back. And I found that really difficult. So I definitely won't do like the launch that far in advance again. I think I would give myself 2 to 3 weeks maximum. I also think that I would at most do a launch like that every other month, certainly not monthly. It was just too much work for an every other month situation, too much pressure, bearing in mind that I also have my monthly Moonglow Mail and monthly Patreon boxes to think about, where every month is a different theme and I'm constantly designing new things for those. And also because I have, the shop to run as well, and I have my children to bring up, and I have freelance work that I do, which all pays the bills. So I definitely can't dedicate enough time to doing a big launch like that every single month, but I am going to do it maybe every other month, maybe every 3 months, something like that. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it, and I'm just so grateful to every single one of you that placed an order. I didn't film any of the order packing actually, because it was right where half term fell and the shop was just absolutely heaving. I always had my children home every day, so they would be nipping down into the shop every now and then, and in the garden they spent a lot of time building dens in the garden, which was lovely to have them here with me, but it did mean that I just could not get the camera out and do any filming. So I'm going to do my best to get back into the swing of filming content for you and bringing back out proper studio vlogs for you, because I'm aware this one has probably been really boring with me mainly just chatting at you. So yeah, I'm so sorry about that. But I hope you have found this vlog interesting in terms of just catching up with me and hearing about how my first shop launch went, and seen a little bit of what I've been up to today on Monday and how I sort of spend my sort of more relaxed Mondays here in the studio. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself pick that camera back up tomorrow and start filming from tomorrow, ready so that I've got content for you for the next studio vlog. And I'm going to do also a Q&A session because I've had lots of questions recently, and I've had a request to do a small business diaries sort of Q&A session. So if you have any questions for me, anything at all, anything small business related, anything about running a shop, anything about living above a commercial unit that you own, anything about where I started with craft markets, obviously, all the way through to owning the shop and running this shop. If you've got questions about taking out business loans, because obviously I had a business loan. If you've got questions about anything at all, you can ask, and if I can help, or if I feel confident enough to respond to the question, I'm going to do that in an upcoming Small Business Diaries Q&A session. So yeah, let me hear your questions down in the comments. If your question you want to keep anonymous, then you can email me at mrskabetty@hotmail.com.